This is The Guide Gals, a modern wedding-focused podcast by the experts at Here Comes the Guide. I'm Chelsea, a designer and inspired creative who's probably racked up over 2,500 hours on Pinterest and the friend who's going to shoot it to you straight.
And I'm Caroline, a social media manager who is obsessed with dogs as ring bearers and will inevitably cry over your wedding video. We've seen it from all sides. We've been brides, planners, bridesmaids, and have worked with standout brands throughout the industry.
Think of us as an extension of your wedding party and hang out with us as we share the ins, outs, ups, and downs of the road to I Do. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Guide Gals podcast. Today you are listening to just Chelsea. It's just going to be me today on this episode, and I'm super excited for it. In this episode, I have a bunch of tips for couples to make their day a lot easier, and these are all brought to us by Emily, who has been a bridesmaid or maid of honor 9 times. So she's been in 9 different weddings, and she's had a big role in all of these weddings. So she has tons of experience, and she's written in to give us a ton of really great tips. So I'm super excited to get into these. So like I said, Emily wrote into us and we're so happy she did. She is a lover of all things coffee. She is a dog mom to a Great Dane Diesel, and she is an honorary Here Comes the Guide member. That's how she describes herself, because her sister is Heather, who works with us at Here Comes the Guide, and we love her. Any friend of Heather's is a friend of ours. So yes. All right. So I am going to get into this. Emily wrote into us with 9 tips, and she has the number of tips she says are based on the amount of bridesmaids dresses that she has in our closet, which is super cute. So I'm going to dive in. Tip number 1, brides, give your phone to your maid of honor the day of your wedding. At no point should you be responding to texts or calls asking for directions to the venue, what time your wedding is, or if they can bring an extra guest. Yes, I couldn't agree more. People, and maybe it's just for lack of knowing how stressful a wedding day can be. Whoever you are, bride, groom, however you describe yourself when you're getting married, I think this is such a great idea to just hand your phone off to whoever your maid of honor is or your right-hand man, and just give yourself, remove it from your presence. That way you don't even have to deal with it, because like I said, people likely will text you, even though that's kind of inappropriate on the day of the actual wedding. All right, tip number 2, this one goes to the maid of honor or the best man or, the sidekick of the day. She says, you are the keeper of the bride. This means no last minute guests who want to see you before you walk down the aisle. She says this is a true story, and she had to make sure an aunt of the bride did not bust through the doors of the bridal suite to get a sneak peek. That's a little crazy. But this is so great. Having someone that can kind of, act as like a bit of a buffer to the bride or the groom or, the couple on the big day is so great. You really, you'll get bombarded by so many different things. So having this buffer is going to allow for just so much more, like the ability to really be in the moment on the day of instead of catering to others, because the day is about the couple and it's about celebrating your love story. So yeah, this is a great piece of advice. Number 3, this is addressed to the bridal party. She says, it is not about you. Your hair and makeup, for that matter, might absolutely suck. And the brides might also, but she must never know that. Fix the flyaways in the hair or the smudged makeup, but never say anything else but that she looks beautiful. So I think a big part of this, which Emily didn't directly say, is no complainers. It's a stressful day. So the bride is definitely going to probably be feeling a little bit of nerves and, so much prep went into this. And of course, you want it to go perfectly. So yeah, if anything goes wrong, the bridal party, that is your time to step up. Maid of honor, especially. Jump in, try to keep things really positive, and don't complain about your own hair and makeup. Yes, of course, you'll appear in the pictures, but you can save the stress on all of that for your own wedding day. Tip number 4, the key to a great toast to the couple is props. There's nothing better than bringing a onesie that says, "My mom is taken, but my auntie is single and cute," to make sure the guests know that the bride is not pregnant. But as the auntie, you are ready when they are. So that's really funny. And yes, sometimes, the speeches can be a little bit boring and you're kind of just like waiting to eat or like whatever that is. If the wedding party can really get into it and make it a super fun experience both for the guests and but especially to the couple getting married and sharing that personal connection and like those little stories. And, of course, props just will bring it to the next level. Really, really cute ideas. Tip number 5. If your DJ doesn't take charge of the mic, the maid of honor needs to do it. No one needs the father of the bride talking about fornication. And then in parentheses, Emily has here, true story. Had I taken a shot of vodka every time the dad talked about fornication, I would not be alive to write this email. Yeah, good call. Totally a good call there. If things are getting weird on the mic and the person talking into the mic is not the DJ or does not have a great reason to be doing so, someone should absolutely 100% intervene on that before things get carried away. Yeah, great. That's an awesome tip. All right, tip number 6. Emily says to pick bridesmaids dresses that you love. She says, I promise that your bridesmaids are not going to wear the dress again, no matter how classic and versatile you think it is. Yeah, I mean, that's likely true. Isn't like the old saying like, oh, you can always just shorten it and wear it again in the future to another event. Like that's probably not going to happen. Although there are so many like fun trends right now with bridesmaids dresses, which I am so in love with. I do really love like the mix and match kind of thing where like everyone has a different style or even everyone has a different like dress entirely, like different patterns and different colors. That's super fun. I can see that being like one of the slim cases where the dresses could possibly be worn again, but just like Emily says here, don't pick the dresses just because you think that something could be, worn again, or try to make it convenient on your wedding party in that way. Pick the dresses that you love and that fit your vision, and the rest will totally fall into place. Tip number 7 is also about dresses. So Emily writes, brides, get a dress that fits. There is nothing worse than being at your wedding and not being able to sit down because your dress is too tight. Oh, that's like awful. It makes me think of tight jeans. If your dress is a little snug, get yourself a maid of honor who will help you get in and out of your dress as many times as you need. It's your day and you do you. Totally. Totally. There really is nothing worse than having to endure and like try to look pretty and getting pictures taken of yourself while feeling uncomfortable. So when you are dress shopping, keep this in mind. Like comfort is amazing. And of course it is a dress. Like you're probably not going to be wearing sweatpants or something like that on your wedding day. So it's not going to be the comfiest outfit that you wear in your lifetime. But if you take that into account, I think that you'll be setting yourself up for a much more joyous experience. Once again, I know I just mentioned tight jeans. Think about it. Think about how it can just change the entire flow of your event. Alternatively, I know like the strapless thing, if you're constantly having to pull it up, or even like if it's on the other end too big, also frustrating. Get your dress altered, get it fitted, make sure like spend that extra little bit to make sure that you feel comfortable on your special day. I think that'll make a huge difference. Tip number 8, water, snacks, and a wedding mix will fix most things. When things start to get stressful, rely on your maid of honor or your wedding party to get you snacks, water, and a kick-ass dance party while you get ready. Totally true. You don't want anybody, especially the bride or the groom, getting hangry when they're trying to prepare for their big day. Have the water, have the whatever it may be, the beverages that are needed, the snacks on hand. And yeah, it's no secret that like good, happy music to just like lift the spirits while you're getting ready will probably make a very big difference. Alrighty, tip number 9, our final tip from Emily. The bride should never know that there is a wedding day glitch. Missing bouquet? No problem. Split yours with another bridesmaid. Missing fake ring for the ring bearer pillow? Not an issue. Use yours. Kids buck wild in the ceremony? No problem. Bubbles and lollipops to the rescue. A crying bride or groom with no tissues? It's not a problem. I've got some in my bra. This is such a great tip, especially if you are like a wedding party member listening, or a maid of honor, a best man. That when someone asks you to take on that role during your special day, you really, of course, it's super fun, but you're signing up for being that person that will be helpful in those moments. And I mean, a huge part of this, they should never know if there is a wedding day glitch. So if something is going wrong, it can be handled. And you don't need to bring it to the bride or groom, letting them know that something goes wrong. That can stay in the dark. But yes, and if you are a bride or a groom, you're part of the couple getting married listening to this, this is absolutely something that you can communicate to your maid of honor, your best man, the members of your wedding party. There are such great ways to ask to try to make your wedding day go smoothly, that you're relying on them, you care about them so much, and that they'll have your back. Yeah. Okay, so that is all that I have for you today. This was such a fun episode, and thank you so much, Emily, for writing in. I really do feel like you could have your own romantic comedy movie about being in 9 different weddings. That's so many. I would totally watch it if you're going to make that a thing. But yes, that is all I have for you today. So thanks so much for listening to this episode. You can find out more about our podcast. You can access our full episode library and also a full printable freebie library on our website at theguidegalspodcast.com. You can watch us on YouTube on the Here Comes the Guide YouTube channel, and you can listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. You can also connect with us on Instagram at The Guide Gals Podcast. We're also on TikTok now, also at The Guide Gals Podcast. So follow us on those places. We do love to hear from you. We love to connect with you. If you have any bits of advice or any stories about being in a bunch of different weddings, please let us know. We love hearing different stories and being able to share them on the podcast. It's so much fun. But yes, until next time, cheers.